Yeah, you can paint minis whatever color you like. There's no no rules. Whatever you like. Unless I guess you want to make like I don't know, like a certain Space Marine chapter. It would probably make sense to make them the official colors, but other than that, you can just kind of do whatever. Okay. I'm not too happy with this base coating over here. It's a bit messy, but I don't think it really matters that much. If I don't like it when it's fully dry, with the wash and everything, I will probably have to go in and do a little bit of detail work, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna mix some of the gray over here with some of the brown, and I will base coat some of the rocks with that too. So I don't really know what other color I would want to make the rocks. I'm thinking like a darkish brown. And since I already have these two colors on the palette, we may as well. Just a bit of variety there. So there's quite a few of these rocks all over the mini. Maybe a bit darker. I think this is all good. So the plan is to just dry brush these with some Tyrant Skull after the Agrax wash. Is this an undead hero? This is basically like a Death Knight. It's the Harbinger of Decay, that's the name of the miniature. I'll neaten up some of the grays as well in a moment. He's just a gardener? Yeah, maybe he likes harvesting some wheat and stuff for the, you know, for dinner. That's why he's got a site. Get some food ready for lunch tomorrow. Gotta mill the grain after this. Now, you may be wondering about the corpses hanging from his body, or any of the skulls and whatnot that are dangling from, but don't worry about that part. Don't worry about that part. It's not really a problem. Yeah, no, that's unrelated. Could have been anybody. Maybe it's a Halloween costume. Yeah, maybe it's a farmer on his way to a Halloween party. That's a good theory. Maybe he's helping out some friends who are, you know, he's disposing of some corpses. Friends help each other out, right? Okay, maybe that goes a bit far, but... Okay. Gonna let this dry for a couple minutes. In the meantime, I can add a tiny little bit of the grossness right over here too. Maybe some tiny pink highlights before we add some blood for the blood god. And some of the wounds over here. There we go. Yeah. All right. Maybe he's the Undertaker. Yeah. You've never had a steady hand? I've seen some crazy results though from people that have literal tremors and stuff. Like Dylan in the chat, he mentions this every once in a while on his stream, but he's a mini painting despite having like a bunch of issues with his hands. If you need any help, maybe ask him. Like he can probably give you some tips. Like he paints incredibly well. Like he enters painting competitions and stuff despite having tremors. Which is, yeah, very impressive. Okay, so that's gonna add a tiny little bit of gloss over there too. All right, NMR. Jeez Louise. Okay, we're gonna take the large brush and we're gonna smack some Agrax all over the base. I don't really want it to pull anything or anywhere like crazy, but we just want to make sure that we cover most of the base. I do like Agrax. So this is gonna add a brownish hue to pretty much everything. We'll add this on the green stuff, but also on the brown. Obviously, you want to be a bit careful because I don't really want this to go onto any of the actual miniature. Just on the base. This tricky part over here, I guess, is the sketchiest area. The area on top. Gotta watch out for some pooling as well, because it can dry up a little ugly if there's too much, especially in these flatter areas. If there's too much accumulating in different places. Okay, I think that's the top layer. that's why we're going relatively quick. Because this is a very, very watery like thing, so it dries pretty fast. Easier actually with a larger brush rather than a smaller one. Even if we do get some ugly drying lines though, we can fix that pretty easy. Plus it's rock in the end, right? Like rock and some plants. Pretty easy. Oh yeah, people mask things off all the time with airbrushes. Very common for people to mask things off with an airbrush. Just kind of have to decide whether or not it's worth spending the time masking something off and then using the airbrush and then cleaning the airbrush and, you know, everything else. Or if you could just do it with a brush a little bit quicker. But people definitely use airbrushes and mask it off, yes. There's all kinds of clever solutions for masking things off. Yeah, masking can be very time consuming, right? So if you're gonna slap it on with a brush. Like I could have masked off the entire miniature and then, you know, spend hours doing that, or I can just use a brush. It also depends on what is more fun, I guess, right? I know that's a crazy concept, but speed is nice, but if you're not enjoying it, masking is not particularly fun. At least I don't enjoy it that much. Yeah. I can imagine some folks would like it, but... There's a couple of areas over here that I haven't yet reached, but... Has there been any hair in the frame today, guys? I don't think so. I may have gotten the right position on the camera now. A little bit of hair is not a problem, but I tilted my camera ever so slightly. Hey, what is going on, Iroachi? I don't know exactly how to pronounce your name, but welcome. I'm gonna go with Irochi. Whether or not it's correct, I don't know. Was there hair? I did go pretty far forward there. Yeah, next up we're gonna be doing a psychophage. I actually bought a few more minis that I will be painting on stream too. But those will have to come in still. But I've had a psychophage for a little bit. It's been on my pile of still to paint miniatures. That should be a relatively quick one, I would imagine. Not as time consuming as this one, I think, but maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Okay. I do want to go and take some of the pooling off. Let's clean the brush. And I'm soaking up some of the excess in some of the areas where I see it pool a bit too much. Redistribute maybe some of it. Especially in between these plates. That's an easy area for it to pool. Then again, it's not the end of the world either. Because it's not like it's gooping up any important detail there. Okay. Whew. Okay. So that actually makes a ginormous difference on the base. Obviously it's still wet. It's gonna take a little bit to dry, but that definitely does make it a lot more presentable. Yeah. We need a sound alert for hair. Oh, it's just it's not iRoachy, it's roach between two little brackets. I see. My bad, my bad. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Dark. So I want to add like a little bit of green, I think, over here. So I was thinking about filling some of the front section up with some water instead. So I have some of these water effects, and I think having like a little pool over here in the front. Oh shit, that's my primer coming off on the edge, that's okay. I think, so I have some water effects on my other minis, or on one other mini, but the other mini from this same army. I'm not painting an army, but I guess we have a watery theme going on is what I'm trying to say. A bit of a water effect might be quite fun. But that'll be one of the final steps we do. Well, I'm not painting armies, but the Glotkin, so I can show you guys the Glotkin. The Glotkin is from the same Maggotkin of Nurgle. And he's got a base. He's got a base that has a lot of water on it. Like right over here. At least that's the idea. This is a very large miniature though. Like in comparison, it's very big. My nickname in college was actually Glotkin. Did you guys know that? Fun fact. But anyways, we can definitely add some water over here as well to that base. May Nurgle fall? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at those 3 yellow dots on the side. Do they have paints that reflect lights to make it look like it glows? No, that's a little effect. So the little dots on the side, they are base coated with, it's actually a lot of steps. I base coated them with this paint, which is like a, it's called moldy wine. It's like a violet, desaturated violet, there you go. A deep purple red. Then I shaded it with Caribou Crimson. And then I ended up drawing little tiny circles with a yellow. Then we covered it up again with a sepia tone to dull it down a bit. And then I highlighted it using Aerial Yellow. And then also a tiny little bit of highlighting with, I believe, Skeleton Bone. That's for these tiny little circles over here. It's been a lot of layers. It's been a lot of layers. But we're getting there. The shield looks excellent, thank you. I'm happy with how the bird turned out as well. Maybe I should reduce the brightness a little bit. I think the bird turned out quite well. Yeah, it's coming along. I think the last thing I'm gonna go ahead and do today is put on a bit of texture paint all around the base, which is like basically to fill up all the negative space. I'm not sure yet about the water effect. Maybe I'll reconsider the water. I'm not exactly sure. But I'm gonna do a little bit of texture paint and then we're gonna let the whole thing dry. Because this paint over here, like this wash that we put over it, that's gonna take like an hour to dry until it sets fully. And the texture paints, which is basically like it's like a paint that has a little bit of, let me see, which one are we gonna use? It's like a paint that has a little bit of like sand and glue and whatnot mixed through it. generally speaking, that would also be something that takes a while to dry. I think I'm gonna use some of this. This is a little bit of a messy project. So I have some of this stuff called AK Muddy Ground. It's a massive tub. And I don't need that much of it, obviously. But the problem is you can't really apply this with a brush, because if you apply it with a brush, it's gonna fuck up your brush. So I have a little scooper. We use a little tiny scoop to like scoop it onto there. And then we'll go from there. When am I gonna be painting waifus? Look how delicious that looks. Paint, glue, and sand. All my favorite flavors. Yum, yum, yum. So I think I'm gonna apply little scoops of it. And then we'll try and spread it out a bunch. We basically just want to fill this up into all of the negative space that's still available, which is a little bit of an annoying project sometimes, but it's okay if I spill it onto some of the other previously painted areas a little bit, but obviously I'd prefer avoiding it. I mean, sometimes if you spill it onto some of the previous terrain, it actually creates like a nice little blend between the two places. But this creates like a very muddy ground effect. We can tell that it takes a while to dry. When are you painting waifus, Lowko? Great question. When will I be painting waifus? I was thinking about releasing my own body pillow range. And maybe, you know, we can coincide the two events. What do you think? Go to www.lowko.shop. Do you ever add real items to the grounds, like gluing sand down or drying twigs, rocks, tiny crystals? I personally haven't done a lot of that, but I know a lot of folks that do. I like this paint a lot, though. I think this is like a... So you could achieve a very similar effect as what I'm applying right now by adding some PVA glue, for example, then dipping the entire mini in like a little bucket of sand and then getting rid of the excess and then painting all of the sand a specific color and then letting the whole thing dry. Which would take it would take significantly more time, and it would obviously create a relatively similar looking result. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to fill in the negative space. Some people leave the negative space empty. They don't do anything with it. I think that's lame. But yeah, there's no right or wrong way. I do add tufts. We will definitely be adding tufts as well. So the plan is basically to let this fully dry, and then we're going to dry brush the texture paint over here together with the rest of the base. And I may add a couple of different colors of dry brush. My favorite one by far is Carrick Stone. I think that makes a pretty nice color. But yeah, I may add some different colors and different tones to it as well. We'll see. But yeah, you can definitely get like I don't know, rocks from your backyard or sand from your backyard. I haven't personally used that because I don't really, like a little tub like this doesn't cost that much. And it lasts for absolutely ages. I don't really know exactly what the, maybe this is meant for like target group people that do like train sets and shit. Because it kind of, maybe like military setups with, you know, tanks and whatnot going in through the mud. But a little tub like this lasts forever. Plus I've heard some issues of people that like go to their backyards and they pick up a little bit of sand and they don't actually spend a bit of time making sure that there's nothing living inside of the sand. I read some stories on Reddit of people saying that they got mold and whatnot growing onto their minis, which is probably due to the fact that they didn't like nuke it. I think if you want to take stuff from the backyard, you probably want to put it in a little tray and like put it in the oven. You know, like it feels a bit weird maybe putting sand in the oven, but I think that's probably the best thing you can do. Like make sure you heat it up because you don't really want any creatures and molds living in your mini. Yeah, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's fine, but... But yeah, there will be some people that will call me crazy though for spending like $5 on a tub that's gonna last me years. That effectively is sand, glue, and paint. But I don't know, man. I think it's okay. Ba-da-da-da-da. I hope you guys are wearing your three-piece suit for this song. At least the tie, okay? I know it's Saturday, but I'm hoping you still wear your tie on Saturday. I never wear ties personally, but still. I'm expecting the best from my audience. You guys have to set me an example. Not that I can see you or anything, but... Not everyone anyways. Some of you. You're in your kilt right now? Nice, dude. Shirt, shorts, flip-flops, and a tie? That's formal attire in Australia. They don't call them flip-flops though, they call them thongs. I think the freezer, if it's cold setting, will most likely kill most mosses. Yeah, you can do that. You can do whatever you like, right? Like, ultimately, this is just another way to do whatever the fuck you like to do. There will be people out there that will set certain quote-unquote rules for miniature painting. A right and a wrong way to do it, but those people are stupid. I'm actually kind of excited to see what like the future of mini painting looks like as well. Like already, like for a lot of the tournaments and stuff, you have some people that are doing some crazy shit. Like rather than just painting very cleanly, they're actually purposefully creating a little bit more free flowing. Right? Kind of like traditional art. This is still early days of mini painting for sure. Oh yeah, we'll get abstract shit for sure. I like abstract art personally though. But yeah, I can imagine that's not for everybody. But there will be some of that shit, you know, where stuff is very much so not something everybody will enjoy. Like I think right now for a lot of the top pieces, everybody can say, wow, that's insane. But kind of like that super Nurgle Dreadnought. That's an acquired taste, like the Nurgle Dreadnought. We had a look at a couple days ago on stream. That thing Not necessarily everybody's cup of tea. There are no cards for Warhammer? You mean trading cards? I don't know. Okay. I think that's the entire bit of negative space. I'm wondering if I should make like a little puddle over here, like I make it a little bit taller in some areas so we can actually add the water a bit easier. I think I'm gonna try and do some of that. We'll try and create like a little bit of a hill over here. I don't know if this is a smart idea. It's gonna take forever to dry, but we have a couple days now, right? We'll let this dry until Monday. Create a little bit of a... a heightened area? You can speed up drying by certain things, yeah. A blow dryer, for example, would go a long way. But it does change the effect a little bit, especially for some of like the crackle paints and stuff. Better to just let it dry. Not sure about the water effect, guys. Maybe the water effect is a bad call. It's kind of difficult to create a little space here for it. We'll think about it. I know there's some like resin-based stuff that reacts to UV light. But I haven't messed around with any of that. Okay. We'll probably add some Nurgle as well, some Nurgle green, some Nurgle's rot to the base in certain areas. Little pops of bright green. Okay. I think it's time to put it away. Yep. I would like to wipe off some of the excess if I can, without getting the shit everywhere. I tend to always get it everywhere. Okay, not this time around it seems. Even clean hands, incredible. I would like to wipe off some of the edges. You get to live up here. I would like my tissue. And then I'll just try and wipe off some of the sides, try to keep them somewhat clean, because otherwise there's going to be dried up texture paint. I'll probably have to like file some of it down anyways, but it's okay. When we do the rim, it's going to look a lot tidier too. Okay. So now it looks a little bit messy, but I've got faith. I've got faith. I think the base will look pretty sick when it's done. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this up on my little shelf, and then I'll grab some clean water. We'll clean the brushes, and we'll try to finish it Monday. Hey, thank you, Flamingo Bingo. Appreciate it. Thank you. Gamers, today is the day that we are finally going to be finishing, I think at the very least, the Harbinger. I have been painting the Harbinger of Decay for many, many hours so far. And I actually did a little bit of painting of it off stream. I did a tiny little bit of painting yesterday, maybe like an hour or so, because I wanted to apply some water effects. And the water effects take a very, very long to dry, a very long time to dry. So here's where we currently are. I painted this water all around the mini. That stuff takes many hours to dry. So I did 2 layers of it. Basically what I did off stream is I base coated a bit of a dark green all around, well, where I wanted the water to be. And then I highlighted it with a little bit of the Nurgle's rot. So we put some bright patches in there. And then I used this clear resin, which dries up to look like, well, just still water like this, all over it in 2 layers. So this is where we currently are at. Overall, I think this mini is looking very sweet. Let me lower the brightness of the lamp a little bit. If I zoom in, I think this is by far the nicest thing I've painted. The mini itself is pretty much done. I can still maybe add a couple of little fixes here and there, but yeah, I think the weapon looks nice. All of the metallics look good. I'd like to maybe do some red eyes on the crow and maybe touch up a couple of little bits and pieces here and there, but overall I am pretty damn happy with how this thing has turned out. Yeah. You're in Japan, Zeus. Nice. What's up, Phantom Anubis? You saw the first time the legendary Taco Emissary love song match? That is one of the games of all time. Truly one of the StarCraft matches that has ever been played. I'm not gonna say if it's good, I'm not gonna say if it's bad, but it's truly one of the matches that has ever been played. Who needs Liberators anyways? Hey, Sarah! Thank you very much. Welcome back. I think we should probably start with the rim. I think that's what I'm gonna do first actually this time around. Before I do all the dry brushing, I'll do a little bit of paint all around the rim. I think that's a good plan. The rim job, yeah, we gotta do the black rim. It's an important job that needs to be done. Also, I need to make sure I drink my coffee. Never forget drinking your coffee, Chan. Aye, ooh, you jealous?
What do I see? The best mini Lowko ever painted?
Yes, sir. I think so. Can I be the judge of my own mini painting, Sven? I'm not sure exactly what the rules are as far as that goes, but I am very happy with how this thing has come along. No, I'm gonna do a black rim. We're gonna do a black rim. I need a tissue. Let me see. Where is... Oh, found it. My napkins. My IKEA napkins. As a matter of fact, I'm the only judge. You may be right, Sven. No, I've just painted this in a bit of a different way than I normally do. And yeah, I think it turned out really nice. How's the background music, by the way? It's not too loud? I noticed in some of the VODs, I found the background music a bit loud. It's probably okay. It's okay-ish? What does that mean? It could be louder, it could be lower. All right, perfect. That's really useful, chat. Keep it up. Half of the viewers want it louder, the other half want it lower. Perfection then. Perfectly balanced audio in that case, right? No, that's actually, probably a good sign. That's probably a good sign that my music volume is just right. We'll do probably 2 coats. We want a nice clean rim job. It's relatively fast going, of course, with a large brush. 2 thin coats, man. Ay, ventilator. I got chills. I can feel the blessings of Duncan shining down on me. Do I use an airbrush for priming? Yes, I use an airbrush for priming now. Up until very recently, maybe a month or 2 ago, I used rattle cans. But I recently got an airbrush. I'm not great at it. But I'm getting better. I think yesterday actually I had a nice little session. A nice little priming sesh. It was pretty fun. I was taking my time. I did a full deep clean of the airbrush too, which I was quite intimidated with the airbrush the very first time I got it. Because it's a sketchy bit of technology, man. It's like a bunch of mechanical parts and stuff. No electronics at all. How does it work? Nobody knows. So I've spent a little bit of time taking it apart a couple of times and then putting it back together. I'm definitely deep cleaning it a lot more than I need to, but I think it's good to get to know the thing, you know? Because it's not as magical after a little while. But it does feel like it's something that's kind of difficult. Yo, have a good one, Phantom Anubis. Take care, man. Hey, thank you, Ghostlight. You pray to the machine spirit? For the airbrush? The Omnissiah? Who do we pray to today? Anything, I guess. Okay, that immediately tidies up the base so much. A nice clean rim. We'll do a second coat of it. And what the hell, maybe even a third, if I'm feeling real crazy. We still have to do a bit of dry brushing on all of the stonework. I think the stonework could be a bit better. Make it pop a little bit more. Because right now the stones that the mini is standing on, they're just a little too flat for my liking. I think I will also paint in this little divot. There we go. Okay, I may look at the black again later, and we'll do another layer. But no, those mushrooms still will have to be painted. We'll have to paint the mushrooms for sure. I haven't yet done those because I still want to do the dry brush first, and I think it's easier to do that first, and then we'll do, you know, the mushrooms themselves. Otherwise I won't have mushroom to get my brush in there, you know? God, Lowko, you're so funny. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys. Thank you. Welcome. Yeah, thank you. I've only made mushroom jokes for 10 years now. Every opportunity for a mushroom joke, you gotta grab it with both hands. Okay, I'm gonna use some Tyrant Skull. A little bit of Tyrant Skull. And we're gonna try and do some dry brushing with it. Oh, well, oh shit. I don't know about that under program. Don't do drugs, kids. I'm adding a tiny little bit of moisture to the brush which usually seems to help. I will start very lightly with the brush because I have a tendency to sometimes do a little bit too much dry brushing at the very beginning. I'd rather do a little bit less at the start and then more at the end, if that makes sense. So I'm really wiping the vast majority of the brush clean. I've probably wiped a little bit more off, but it's okay. There we go. Yeah, so that's gonna make the stones pop a lot more. I may use a couple different colors of this actually, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see what it looks like first. Then we'll go from there. I also want to do little dollops of like bright green on the water still. I think I'm just going to use some pure, maybe a little bit of diluted Nurgle's Rot for that. I think it's fun. I'm such a fun guy. Hey, there it is. What's going on, program? Thank you for gifting us up to Gorp. Is that Slorp's little brother? Slorp Lorp? Yeah, that makes a huge difference, this little dry brush. Rinse and repeat. Okay. Trying to make sure that I go at the right angle, in the right direction with the brush. Normally, I'm a circular motion kind of guy, but I think back and forth is better here. That's what she's, I don't know. I don't know about that one. We gotta think about that one for a little bit. Maybe a little bit of circular motion too. What the heck? It's kind of difficult to get my brush in some of these places. I think I will re-highlight some of the green in particular. The green is becoming very muddy, and I don't really love the look of the brown on the base much either. I think it's a little too much shit-colored. we want less shit-colored browns. We want it a little bit more muted than this, you know? Like maybe introduce a little bit more protein. Okay. Let's do one more round. Very specific areas. Places that are a little bit difficult to reach. Hey, thank you, Yogi. A $50 figure? What does that mean? Thank you for the compliment on the painting, though. You would pay $50 for this mini? Huge. Big money. What's going on? Thank you, Suta, for tuning in again. Hello. This mini has probably taken me like 30 hours at this point. I'm not exactly sure. If I would sell it for 50 bucks, I mean, I'm not interested in selling it anyways, but that would still be a terrible rate. Yeah, I think so, Zoid. I've probably spent about 10 bucks on painting and 40 bucks on the plastic. Phew! Nice program. You snuck a little bit of Deutsch in there. Genau. It's all that Oktoberfest, eh? I see what's happening here. Yogi tried to rob me. No, it's okay, it's okay. It was meant as a compliment, which I appreciate, thank you.